Thank you very much. Please be seated, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. And we have to say thank you to our guest, Steel Orchestra, Unison Steel Orchestra. And they will now be entertaining us for about 10 minutes. They're going to do a short set. And this is also to ensure that our sound is perfect for the competition which will follow. So once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and now let us enjoy Unison Steel Orchestra. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, somehow I didn't expect that set to be like me, you know. Short and...
Sweet.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And we say a very, very warm welcome to each and every one of you here as we have our Panorama competition. My name is Gemma Jordan, and with me is my co-host,
Sheldon Hoyt, and good evening. Welcome back to the museum for the New York Panorama. It's been a long time coming, and we are here tonight to decide.
A pleasant
who
good
will reign
evening to
champion
one and all.
2023
My name is Terence Silly. I'll be
of New
your
York
host
City
this
Carnival.
evening, taking you through the
and we are
places
celebrating
here at the
56
Brooklyn
years
Museum.
of Carnival here in New
What is
York. And we have to
the
say thanks to each
Panorama,
and every one of you.
which is just about to begin. We just had guest band, the Unison Stars, playing a series of lively calypsos. This evening, your judges will be Roger Sardina, Martin Albino, Judith Defoe Howard, Vanessa Headley, Ezra Joseph, Kern Somerville, and Michelle Huggins. They are tasked with the responsibility of choosing this year's champions, as we say. And as we go along the evening, I would go through with you the rubric, what the judges are using to derive a champion. Because, you know, we all have our favorite bands, but there must be something that we can use together in order to come up with a champion. So I will go through the rubric and kind of give you a brief explanation of what exactly the judges are supposed to be looking for. And it's not just what you think or what you feel, you know, based on how a band sounds. What we will do as well, I will try to, after each band, we will try and see if we could get one of the leading players of the band or your arranger, captain, manager, just to give us a brief, not history, but, you know, like some of the challenges the band may have faced in the lead up to the Panorama. You know, we started a bit late, a few minutes late. I think they were just trying to work out some technical issues, which they have seemed to have sorted out. Yes, so it's a beautiful evening here at the Brooklyn Museum. The weather is nice. Nice night for Pan. There's a almost packed crowd, you know, eagerly awaiting the performances of all the bands. So, in order of appearance, the first band we have this evening would be Harmony Music Makers, playing Black Man Feeling the Party, a tune arranged by, let me just check my notes here. Yes, arranged by Wilfred Keel. So, the second band will be Steel Sensation. Band number 3 will be Pan in Motion. Number 4, we have Pan Evolution. In 5, we have Kasim. And in 6, playing number 6 would be have Despas USA. In 7, we have Eruption. And position number 8, we have Philadelphia All Stars. In 9, we have Metro. And in 10, we have Dorados. So the 10 bands are all vying for the coveted prize, of which I will tell you in a bit. First place is 20,000. Second place, 15,000. And in third place, the third place band walks away with $12,000. It's going to be an interesting night, evening, sorry. We have a arranger that formerly arranged with one band is now arranging for another band, and there's some friendly rivalry. We will wait to see how it all unfolds at the end of the evening. I know the culture in New York. We have fans, I don't want to say fanatics, I think that's the wrong word, but diehard fans for certain bands, you know, and we will wait to see the result at the end of the evening. So, again, welcome to all who is viewing online, to all our friends in Trinidad and Tobago and up the islands and North America and the wider world. We say thank you for viewing. And my job is basically to take you through the paces and try to bring some, I don't want to say musical terminology to you, but try to break down each arranger's arrangement so we can have a better idea of what just happened. So to do that, let me first look at the rubric. All right, so the rubric, what we call the rubric is what the judges use. So there's a score sheet in front of the judges, and the bands are to be marked in particular areas. And so the first area, they have introduction. Right, the introduction to the piece carries 40 points. And I'll give you a brief synopsis of what the judge is supposed to be looking for. The ability of the arranger to compose an appropriate introduction for the calypso chosen as a prepared piece. So I know some judges like in choosing an introduction, you utilize piece of the song. You know, you try to use a part of the song somewhere in your intro. So it's like you're stating the theme of the song before you actually go into what we call the verse or the chorus. And most persons tend to enter the verse with some sort of excitement. You know, at the end of the introduction, you would sometimes hear a lot of runs, chromatic runs. Arrangers love to do that, you know. And yes, we live, so anything goes right now. You know, we see persons walking behind us, but it's okay. You know, stuff happens when you're live. Right, so the introduction carries 40 points. And in the introduction as well, we have reharmonization. So that is basically when the arranger takes the chords from the original piece and what we call substitute them. So instead of playing the chords that the song was originally composed with, you show your versatility by, you know, using different chords. Most times here is where arrangers show their skill in using extended chords and jazz chords and what have you. So then they have the motivic development. Now this is a section that sometimes eludes some arrangers, and I say that without fear of contradiction. So basically, what we in Trinidad call the hook line of the song, or some parts of the song that the arranger likes or he thinks he could develop on. You will take that piece of music and, you know, do different things with it. You could break it up, you could embellish it, you could change the phrases of it. You know, there are a number of tricky things that arrangers utilize in this section, motivic development. Now, we could split that motivic development into two forms. And yes, we could look at the melodic part of it. So, by the melodic part, I mean like something that you could whistle, or you could lala. Or we could take the rhythmic part of it, of which one of our arrangers that we will see this evening love to do, which is Xander. He utilizes a lot of the rhythmic aspects of the melodic development. So, as we go along, I'm not a singer, so I'll probably try to lala a few parts for you so you could get a better understanding of what I'm trying to say. Right? So, okay, so we're going along. So we have motivic development, and then we have melodic development. And then we have interpretation. Now, in this section, according to the rubric, what the judges have, and I'll read it out, the ability of the band to creatively execute the arrangement with all the nuances therein. This includes the initial appropriate melodic and or harmonic statement of the calypso and development of the arrangement to climatic points. Now, this is basically the band's ability to basically play what the arranger gave them in a coherent manner. I have seen in the past there are some arrangers would do parts that is beyond the ability of the players that they have. And as an arranger, you have to know what you're working with. You have to know the abilities of the players. In doing a part, you ask yourself, while you're drilling, could they play it at the speed that you want it to be played at? And then you have a decision to be made whether you're going to alter the part or force the SU and try to make them play it, But again, this all, again, we live. Wow. Yeah, so this all again comes down to, the performance. Right, so we have, again, that section comes under general performance. So general performance carries 40 marks. All right, so we have dynamics, the effective execution of crescendos, contracts, phrasing, and other musical expressions in the arrangement. Now, basically, for the persons who not musical, we basically looking at louds and softs and those kind of things that you might do to the sound to carry it forward. Not all Panorama songs, in my opinion, needs to have a lot of crescendos or louds and soft passages. It depends on the arranger and what he's doing or what he's trying to say. And some bands master the use of crescendos in appropriate places, to get the desired effect. All right. So we have balance. Now, I know in Trinidad this has been an issue over the years, and I think bands have progressively gotten it better. The balance the judges are looking at, I will read the rubric. The ability of the band to distribute their instruments on stage to allow for the best possible audio reception by the judges. Now, sometimes this straight out is basically how you set up. How you set up your band. So if your band isn't balanced on stage, then what the judges hear or what the audience hear would be an imbalanced sound. So sometimes you have arrangers that have a lot of you have arrangers that have a lot of music in the middle section, and if you don't place your middle section in an appropriate place when that is playing, judges can't hear it. And sometimes background pans, sometimes for example, some persons have the bass. Oh, wow. Some persons, simply laying out the pans, it isn't done properly. Now, I refer to Trinidad. Now, what happens is in Trinidad, sometimes because we have that east-west wind blowing on the stage, how our stage is set up, sometimes bands don't take that into consideration, and then when they face the judges, you find that you hear the bands better on the western side of the stage because that wind is blowing and taking all the sound over on that side. Now, I'm saying this to reference this particular stage because the bands are up on a pretty decent height stage. I'm not sure where the judges are. I know if I was a arranger, I would have paid particular attention to the position where the judges are seated, because sometimes the music isn't translated the way you think it translates. I'm not sure if you all are following me, right? So this setup is very important, very, very important for judges especially to hear the parts that you want them to hear. It makes no sense that you have all these nice parts and then it's just not being heard, so you really have to pay particular attention to you set up from in the yard and then given the space that you're in. Because sometimes persons do set up and they just set up one way in the yard without factoring in the space that you're going to perform in. You know, is it properly treated? How does the wind blow? Is it, are my pans covered? Are they uncovered? Do I have canopies? Do I don't have canopies? All that determines how your band sound. And we find that over the years, more and more bands are paying particular attention to that particular sound, because when you're in your yard, if you are practicing in a yard that has four walls around you, your band will sound very big. And then you come out in an open space, and then it just don't translate that way that you think, it translates. So I hope I can shed some light on that, and I hope I explain that properly. All right, so we have quality of sound. Well, this is directly with the tuning of the pans by the tuners. And I also like to say the ability of the players, because they are, in the past, you have players who would probably just, what we say, like beat the pans, they don't want to beat pans, we play pans now, so you may have good pans and your players just keep slamming, and just doesn't translate that way, so we see something is going on stage, so I'll get ready to transfer you over. Oh wow, we gotta fix this because persons keep walking in and out of the set, Again, we live, so all right, so we're going stateside.
Shout out to my mom and my family over there. People can point out over there. Everybody say safe Labor Day weekend. We're going to have a safe Labor Day weekend, and the message that I've been spreading, we have some people that, coming into community and all that. We just want to make sure everybody knows that Caribbean community is here, and we're going to stay here. We're not going anywhere. We're going to continue to celebrate our culture. We've been doing it for years. We're going to continue doing it for years. So please, enjoy yourself. Have a great weekend. Peace and blessing. Love and light to you all. Thank you so much. And here's Assembly Member Cunningham.
Good night, pan-loving people. Make some noise. Caribbean people, make some noise. Jamaicans, make some... Oh, sorry, Jamani. Sorry. He said it was the best flag. I was just doing a check. Let me say thank you so much to the West Indian Day Carnival Association, to Juve Weekend. This year, we have introduced in the New York State Legislature, alongside Senator Parker, a bill that would make steel pan a part of the New York City DOE curriculum. Make some noise for that, and let's get that done. Thank you so much. Safe weekend.
My name is Hercules Reed. I'm here on behalf of our Mayor, Eric Adams. I'm the Brooklyn Borough Director. We just want to continue to say have a great weekend. We love you. We love the Caribbean community. My mom and my dad is from Jamaica, so big up to Jamaica one time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for coming through. Thank you for the message you spread and continuing to fight for Caribbean culture in New York City. All right, so I just wanted to teach Mr. Advocate a little lesson, all right? I love all my Caribbean people. We love all our Caribbean people. However, we just celebrated Independence Day a couple days ago. Let them know where we red, white, and black. Where my Trinidad and Tobago crew? All right. All right, so at this point, we're still in a little bit of a holding pattern. We just want to sort out the last few kinks, and we will get the show started shortly. All right, I'm ready. The bands are ready, and we're almost there. Run the tune again, Hulk.
Okay, so we are back. We just had a few announcements from some of the executive members. Okay, so again, we continue looking at the rubric. So the last thing in the rubric, we had rhythm. This is consistency application of a rhythm section. Okay, so again, the ability of the arranger to effectively use the rhythm section and or various rhythm pieces in the arrangement, to drive the thing forward. So we get set to go stateside for band number 1, which is the Harmony Music Makers, a tune of choice, Black Man Feeling the Party, sung by Leroy Callis, arranged by Wilfred Keel, and the band manager, Wilfred Keel Sr., tuner, Jason Huller. So we go stateside for Harmony Music Makers.
The band manager, Wilfred Keel, and with 45 players, let's welcome Harmony Music Makers with a round of applause. Harmony music makers, ladies and gentlemen, giving us a black man feeling to party. Our first band for the evening. And we'll make way for the second band. But in the meantime, we would like to welcome our international delegation.
From Pan Trinbago, Trinidad and Tobago Limited, the world governing body for Pan.
Okay, so there we had the first band for the evening, the Harmony Music Makers. Yes, so a very interesting performance by the Harmony Music Makers. I think the piece was a bit slow. I think I alluded to the point I was making earlier on when I'm saying that sometimes you have to work with the players that you got. So as an arranger, you have to know, how intricate you could do some parts or how fast you can play. So they actually took it a bit slow. The pans sounded pretty good. I think I was impressed with the overall tone. I think the rhythm, the band, to me, it felt as though it got a little slower as they move along. But nevertheless, I think a good performance by the first band, kicking things off. I think it's always a bit nerve-wracking when you are band number one. Whatever little kinks have to be worked out with sound system. You are that band that has that on your shoulders, But where I am at the back, a good distance away from the stage. So I think the position that in which the judges are, they should be able to hear a little better. So we go stateside for some announcements by Gemma. Okay, as we get set for the third band, who is doing Long Live Soca. Coincidentally, the guy who is drumming for this band is the guy who drummed on the actual recording for Voice and Dewey. That is Jerrion Williams. Curious to hear this arrangement, see how it stands up against the previous bands. Band number 2 has set a high standard, and so far all the bands that follow will have to try and top that. As I was saying, performing Steve Band for Panorama is a lot of commitment, and I also want to say that the amount of young persons I'm seeing participating is a warming feeling, having tutored several students myself over the years. It's a nice feeling when you see the amount of young persons, because let me tell you something, to play in a panorama takes a lot of commitments, and you have to forego a lot of things to go practice. You know, you have to give up the limes to the mall, the trips to the mall, the trips to the movies, you know, because I've practiced to attend to. And several nights in Trinidad, we said several nights of eating nuts and orange. I don't know what is the staple up here in the Panyard every night, you know. Sometimes long nights. And hats off to every single band that has already played and is to come. You know, I know it is it can be challenging at times. You know, it takes a toll on you sometimes, but it's also rewarding just to cross the stage, you know, as a performer. You know, after all the nights of drilling and section practice, and to finally be on the stage and perform, you know, it's a really tremendous feeling. I know, especially the young ones who probably now just beginning to play. Even the seasoned ones, there are persons who, you know, I know for years must cross the stage. You know, they may not play pan for the entire year, but come Panorama, you know, you must cross that stage with someone, you know, and hats off to all the tutors, all the pan programs, the persons who take time to teach the younger ones, you know, and the older ones. So we get set to go stateside for the Pan in Motion. So we go stateside for Pan in Motion.
The captain of the band is Charles Jerry Guy, and the manager is Dr. Kendall K. Williams. Their tune of choice is one composed and sung by Aaron Voice St. Louis. It has been arranged for the band by Dr. Kendall K. Williams and will be played on pans tuned by Kyle Dunleavy. Ladies and gentlemen, with 75 players here to play for us, Long Live Soca. Put your hands together and warmly welcome band number 3, Pan in Motion. Long Live Soca.
we go jam it steady. In the engine room, we go get on wassy. In the meantime, why don't you join the line? Grab your bottle and spoon, and come let we party in the engine room. Ooh, yeah. Well, how else we will survive if we don't create the vibes? This is a big part of the life, so soca must live and never die. In this party atmosphere, so sweet that I can't describe. So all the artists, you must be here, cause without an engine, can't start, so we cannot drive. No oxygen tank, we got dipsy dive, so we got to come together and try to find a way, find a way. No more fight down till we got a unify. Let them keep the money, we not taking back. They go come run we down when you see them. Get this song when you're ready. Ready when the iron and the man ready, come go down. It's a vibe in the session when we jam into the steel pan. Come on, join the line, grab your bottle and spoon. It's a party in the engine room. In the engine room, we go jam it steady. In the engine room, we go get on wassy. In the meantime, why don't you join the line, grab your bottle and spoon, and come let we party in the engine room. Hey, I'm telling you now, if we could just put aside we pride and let Jaja be we guide, then love will be the prize and no one will feel a type of way. You could get radiator and battery, new transmission from the factory. You can do whatever you want, but without an engine, can't start, so we cannot drive. No oxygen tank, we got dipsy dive, so we got to come together and try to find a way, find a way. No more fight down till we get a unify. Let them keep the money, we not taking back. They go come run we down when you see them. Get this song when you're ready. Rhythm and the iron and the man with the Congo drum. It's a vibe in the center when they jam into the steel pan. Come and join the line, grab your bottle and spoon. It's a party in the engine room. In the engine room we go jam it steady. In the engine room we go get on what's it. In the meantime, why don't you join the line, grab your bottle and spoon, and come let we party in the engine room. We go get on all of them. When you ready, rhythm and the iron and the man with the Congo drum. It's a vibes in the session when we jam into the steel bun. Come on, join the line, grab your bottle and spoon. It's a party in the engine room. In the engine room we go jam it steady. In the engine room we go get on wassy. In the meantime, why don't you join the line, grab your bottle and spoon, and come let we party in the engine room. Ooh, yeah. Well, how else we will survive if we don't create the vibes? This is a big part of the life, so soca must live and never die. In this party atmosphere, so sweet that I can't describe. So all the artists, you must be here, cause without an engine, can't start, so we cannot drive. No oxygen tank, we got dipsy dive, so we got to come together and try to find a way, find a way. No more fight down till we got a unify. Let them keep the money, we not taking back. They go come run we down when you see them. Get this song when you're ready. Ready when the iron and the man ready, come go down. It's a vibes in the session when we jam into the steel pan. Come on, join the line, grab your bottle and spoon. It's a party in the engine room. In the engine room we go jam it steady. In the engine room we go get on wassy. In the meantime, why don't you join the line, grab your bottle and spoon, and come let we party in the engine room. Hey, I'm telling you now, if we could just put aside we pride and let Jaja be we guide, then love will be the prize and no one will feel a type of way. You could get radiator and battery, new transmission from the factory. You can do whatever you want, but without an engine, can't start, so we cannot drive. No oxygen tank, we got dipsy dive, so we got to come together and try to find a way, find a way. No more fight down till we got a unify. Let them keep the money, we not taking back. They go come run we down when you see them. Get this song when you're ready. Rhythm and the iron and the man with the Congo drum. It's a vibe in the center when they jam into the steel pan. Come on, join the line, grab your bottle rhythm and the iron and the man with the Congo drum. It's a vibes in the session when we jam into the steel bun. Come on, join the line, grab your bottle and spoon. It's a party in the engine room. In the engine room we go jam it steady. In the engine room we go get on wase. In the meantime, why don't you join the line, grab your bottle and spoon. And come let we party in the engine room. Ooh, yeah. Well, how else we will survive if we don't create the vibes? This is a big part of the life, so soca must live and never die. In this party atmosphere, so sweet that I got this vibe. So all the artists you must be here, cause without an engine, can't dance, so we cannot dive. No oxygen tank, we got it, see that, so we got to come together and try to find a way, find a way. No more fight down, we got a unify. Let them keep the money, we not taking back. They go come run me down when you see them. Get this song when you're ready. Rhythm and the iron and the man with the Congo down. It's a vibe in the session when we jam into the steel bun. Come on, join the line, grab your bottle and spoon. It's a party in the engine room. In the engine room we go jam it steady. In the engine room we go get on wase. In the meantime, why don't you join the line, grab your bottle and spoon, and come let we in room. Hey, I'm telling you now, if we could just put aside we pride and let Jaja be we guide, then love will be the prize and no one will feel that type of way. You could get radiator and battery, new transmission from the factory. You can do whatever you want, but without an engine, can't start, so we cannot drive. No oxygen tank, we got it, see that, so we got to come together and try to find a way, find a way. No more fight down till we got a unify. Let them keep the money, we not taking back. They go come run me down when you see them. Hear this song when you're ready. Rhythm and the iron and the man with the Congo drum. It's a vibe in the center when they jam into the steel band. Come and join the line, grab your bottle and spoon. It's a party in the engine room. In the engine room we go jam it steady. In the engine room we go get on wase. In the meantime, why don't you join the line, grab your bottle and spoon, and come let we party in the engine room. We go get on when you're ready, rhythm and the come on, join the line, grab your bottle and spoon. It's a party in the engine room. In the engine room we go jam it steady. In the engine room we go get on wase. In the meantime, why don't you join the line, grab your bottle and spoon, and we party in the engine room. Ooh, yeah. Well, how else we will survive if we don't create the vibes? This is a big part of the life, so soca must live and never die. In this party atmosphere, so sweet that I got this vibe. So all the art with an engine, can't dance, so we cannot dive. No oxygen tank, we got it, see that, so we got to come together and try to find a way, find a way. No more fight down till we got a unify. Let them keep the money, we not taking back. They go come run me down when you see them. Get this song when you're ready. Rhythm and the iron and the man with the Congo down. It's a vibe in the session when we jam into the steel bun. Come on, join the line, grab your bottle. In the engine room we go get on wase. In the meantime, why don't you join the line, grab your bottle and spoon, and come let we party in the engine room. Hey, I'm telling you now, if we could just put aside we pride and let Jaja be we guide, then love will be the prize and no one will feel that type of way. You could get radiator and battery, new transmission from the factory. You can do whatever you want, but without an engine, can't start, so we cannot drive. No oxygen tank, we got it, see that, so we got to come together and try to find a way, find a way. No more fight down till we got a unify. Let them keep the money, we not taking back. They go come run me down when you see them. Hear this song when you're ready. Rhythm and the iron and the man with the Congo drum. It's a vibe in the center when they jam into the steel band. Come and join the line, grab your bottle and spoon. spoon. And come let we party in the engine room. Ooh, yeah. Well, how else we will survive if we don't create the vibes? This is a big part of the life, so soca must live and never die. In this party atmosphere, so sweet that I got this vibe. So all the artists, you must be here, cause without an engine, can't start, so we cannot dive. No oxygen tank, we got dipsy dive, so we got to come together and try to find a way, find a way. No more fight down till we got a unify. Let them keep the money, we not taking vibe. They go come run me down when you see them. Hit this song when you're ready. Rhythm and the iron and the man ready to go down. It's a vibe in the session when we jam into the steel pan. Come on, join the line, grab your bottle and spoon. It's a party in the engine room. In the engine room we go jam it steady. In the engine room we go get on massé. In the meantime, why don't you join the line, grab your bottle and spoon, and come let we party in the engine room. Hey, I'm telling you now, if we could just put aside we pride and let Jaja be we guide, then now will be the prize and no one will feel a type of way. You could get radiator and battery, new transmission from the factory. You can do whatever you want but without an engine, yeah, can't start so we cannot drive. No oxygen tank, we got dipsy dive, so we got to come together and try to find a way, find a way. No more fight down till we got a unify. Let them keep the money, we not taking right. They go come run me down when you see them. Get this song when you're ready. Rhythm and the iron and the man with the Congo jam. It's a vibe in the session when they jam into the steel pan. Come and join the line, grab your bottle and spoon. It's a party in the engine room. In the engine room we go jam it steady. In the engine room we go get on, what's it? In the meantime, why don't you join the line, grab your bottle and spoon, and come let we party in the engine room. We go get another day. When you ready, rhythm and the iron and the man with the Congo drum. It's a vibes in the session when we jam into the steel bun. Come on, join the line, grab your bottle and spoon. It's a party in the engine room. In the engine room we go jam it steady. In the engine room we go get on massé. In the meantime, why don't you join the line, grab your bottle and spoon, and come let we party in the engine room. Ooh, yeah. Well, how else we will survive if we don't create the vibes? This is a big part of the life, so soca must live and never die. In this party atmosphere, so sweet that I got this vibe. So all the artists, you must be here, cause without an engine, can't start, so we cannot dive. No oxygen tank, we got dipsy dive, so we got to come together and try to find a way, find a way. No more fight down till we got a unify. Let them keep the money, we not taking right. They go come run me down when you see them. Hit this song when you're ready. Rhythm and the iron and the man with the Congo jam. It's a vibe in the session when we jam into the steel pan. Come on, join the line, grab your bottle and spoon. It's a party in the engine room. In the engine room we go jam it steady. In the engine room we go get on massé. In the meantime, why don't you join the line, grab your bottle and spoon, and come let we party in the engine room. Hey, I'm telling you now, if we could just put aside we pride and let Jaja be we guide, then now will be the prize and no one will feel a type of way. You could get radiator and battery, new transmission from the factory. You can do whatever you want but without an engine, yeah, can't start so we cannot drive. No oxygen tank, we got dipsy dive, so we got to come together and try to find a way, find a way. No more fight down till we got a unify. Let them keep the money, we not taking right. They go come run me down when you see them. Hit this song when you're ready. Rhythm and the iron and the man with the Congo jam. It's a vibe in the session when they jam into the steel pan. Come and join the line, grab your bottle and spoon. It's a party in the engine room. In the engine room we go jam it steady. In the engine room we go.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the midpoint of our competition with band number 5 on stage, Chasm Steel Orchestra, Roberts, tune of choice, Engine Room, written by Jason Shaft, Bishop, Scott Galt, Michael Halsmeyer, and Olatunji Yearwood, sung by Olatunji Yearwood, arranged by Lance Maximin, on pans tune by Quent Rose. With 95 players, please welcome Chasm Steel Orchestra.
the setup is correct. As I said before, you really have to make sure that how you set your band, the music is translated in the way in which you wanted to, and you don't just put players anyway. Have to make sure all the parts that you want heard is positioned in a place where the judges can hear them, to give you the best chance of winning that first prize that everybody is eyeing right now. And that first prize is $20,000, which could go a long way in supporting most of the bands. I know running a steel band is a pretty expensive thing, and I guess cupping that prize will all go well for any band, in terms of getting stuff ready for the following year and probably whatever program you have going on during the year. And by the skill level, I can tell quite a few bands have a program, because these players I've seen, I walked around a bit earlier and saw some of the bands releasing, and skill level is way up. Can't stop thanking teachers and the elders in Panyards who are passing on the tradition, and seeing these kids playing their hearts out and actually enjoying performance. Go on the days where you had to actually choreograph parts and tell people, you need to look a little more lively. Once the music is hitting correct, as we say, they will be jumping up and enjoying themselves, having a wonderful time. And a lot of these kids now could have been doing a number of things that could get them in some serious trouble. And it's nice to see that time is being spent in a panyard learning something progressive, and not just learning music. As I said earlier, you learn discipline, you learn punctuality, you learn how to get along with persons, you learn how to teach, you learn how to listen, you learn how to express yourself, because music is a form of is a method by which you can express yourself. Percussion is, when you feel a part in a song and you put your feeling into that, that's you expressing how you feel at that given moment. Yeah, so it's a wonderful thing, and it's nice to see the support that persons give to the steel band movement here in Brooklyn. It's a heartwarming feeling, having taught steel band for many years. You always understand, what it takes to have a steel band and to have players, up to a certain level. Yes. So as we still await the Desperados, Steel Despas USA is setting up. Again, guys are seeing that we are online and still walking through. I guess the nature of life, do our best. So Despas USA is set in a blue top with a white trousers. It looks like, it's a denim trousers. I think the light has it looking. A light denim trousers with a sky blue top. And the pants are painted silver with gold tinsel. And the bottom you see Trinidad and Tobago flag on one side and the flag of the United States of America on the other side. The vibes on the stage looks lit, as we say. Persons are already enjoying themselves, waiting to be for the nod. Yes, so they will be playing Long Live Soca. song that we are hearing in the background, we can probably go stateside and just take in a little piece of the song.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for band number 6, Despers USA.